Hey there, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on with a basic astrological rundown for June 2023. If you are looking for a more in-depth analysis of the month, I have migrated that video over to the Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel, where it will be much more at home, and you can see all kinds of more important dates and special aspects there. I've also got another special video all about Pluto's retrograde back into Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde in Pisces available, because those are not just happening this month, but they needed more time because they're also a big influence of the rest of our year. I will be pinning a comment with links to both videos in the down bar below for you. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or again, you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what's going on when it comes to your June, at least in a basic nutshell? Well, we've got a full moon in Sagittarius on June 3rd, which is all about culminations, transitions, endings, and high energy, forcing movement away from an old status quo. And so this is taking place in your 9th house of education, government legal proceedings, travel, culture, expansion, both personal and business, as well as your spiritual path and practice. And during the 2-week window period between the 3rd and the 17th of the month, you are going to see that there is an elimination going on, the purge of some kind of status quo, agreement, or block, something that has been maybe keeping this part of your life going in circles or keeping it stuck in the past. This is also going to give you an opportunity for a big break, a big launch when it comes to a project getting expanded, a business growing, maybe growing your business profile, or even giving you a chance to get ready to take on more lucrative work or work with more highly capable people as it relates to a team, your spiritual path and practice, or maybe even bring more adventure into your personal life. However, with the full moon in the 9th house, remember, this is about getting you out of your bubble. And not everyone enjoys that sometimes, and maybe in some of these spaces with these agreements or business or whatever, you might be dealing with some difficult folks as it relates to full moon energy, right? Not everyone can handle high energy in a way that is admirable, and so pay attention to who you can and can't work with. It'll be very clear with how they handle it. We have another very special aspect this month in Mars and Venus pairing up. In fact, that's actually kind of a theme of this month. It's pairs, pairs, pairs. Mars and Venus are together in Leo pretty much all month long. We've got Mars in there from the beginning of June, and Venus will be joining him as we get to the 5th of the month. And this is your 5th house of romance, creativity, love, recreation, monetizable talents, and your relationships with your kids. So Mars is coming in with that focus on blockbusting, eliminating problems, and maybe even, getting rid of some obstacles that may have been there in any kind of pursuit you are making, right? Whether it's obstacles to intimacy, obstacles to closeness, maybe even eliminating things that have been sources of drama or headaches or instability in our relationships or our projects or anything like that here. Mars does bring a focus on tearing down walls, right? So people can be as close as they possibly can, while also advocating for maybe an opportunity for a talent or a pursuit to finally get its fair chance. But be mindful with Mars in the 5th house, it can also bring up some constructive conflicts that need to happen as well. Because if people have been attached to their old ways and they're not healthy ways, or they're not conducive ways to intimacy or growth or success or closeness or anything like that, they've got to be worked away. Venus, luckily, will be cutting this a little bit and making it a little bit easier, bringing love, favors, popularity, affection, and new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. And so you're also going to find that while Mars is bringing in a lot of the passion in all respects, Venus is going to be bringing in deeper levels of affection and the exploration even of new love languages, things that might be a more current fit to where you and a partner are in this now, or maybe even even drawing in partnership opportunities for those of you who are single or available to explore a different kind of love language. And it's also bringing in a new kind of closeness for any creative collaborators as well as your kids. We have Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, and that's just going to be all about catching up on matters that fell behind during May's retrograde. But after the 11th, Mercury will be joining the Sun in Gemini for the middle of the month, making another very special pair. When we have the Sun and Mercury together, they are blending, right? The focus of attention, enhancement, support, and growth, and new resources, upgrades, and updates. That's coming from the Sun. And we've got Mercury focusing on rapid development, accelerated productivity, quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to successful fruitions. And this is all taking place in your third house of collaborations, contracts, commitments, helpful third parties in your peer group. So you're really being asked to get ready to take on a lot of new adventures, a lot of new excursions with people, right? You're going to be seeing a lot more people showing up in your world and helping to shake things up where they need to be shook up, but also getting hooked up, match made, speeding up developments when it comes to projects that may have fallen behind, or maybe even catching up on things that maybe we forgot about or weren't paying attention to. This is also a time where important collaborators and allies that could become long-term friends or long-term commitments down the road are going to start populating your world. But you want to be careful here. You are going to be working with highly capable people. And so there may be also a bit of a push, Mercury in the third house, to be ready to update your skill set. You want to make sure that you can keep up with the people who are showing up for you. We have a new moon in this part of your chart as well on the 18th of the month, and this is opening up a 2-week window period between the 18th of the month and week 1 of July. And this is all about a new important collaboration or team opportunity that could be between you and one other person, or something getting linked with you that is going to help a personal or business passion get new legs. Finally, as we close up the month, we've got the Sun and Mercury moving into Cancer together, which is happening on the 21st for the Sun and on the 26th for Mercury. So they're going on into your 4th house of home and family. And you're going to find that, through the middle of July, starting at the, again, the last week of June or so, all of that focus on attention, enhancement, support, and growth is going to be going straight to work on your home life, right? It's your 4th house of home and family, your living situation, as well as your home economy, your home-based business operations. Mercury is going to be speeding up productivity here, but the Sun is also going to be bringing in a new focus on, again, new enhancements, getting things in a place where we can be in a more comfortable, peaceful, and wealthy way, and also set up a new kind of long-term security for you, your living situation, and your family. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And again, don't forget, for more in-depth analysis on what's going on, please check out the other videos that I've already posted in the comment section below, pinned to the top. Take care. Hey there, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is the basic astrological rundown for June 2023. If you are interested in a more in-depth analysis, including important dates and special aspects, I urge you to consider looking at the more in-depth analysis of June, which is going to be up on my Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel. I've decided to move it over there where it will be much more at home. If you are interested in also getting more of an understanding of what's going on with Pluto retrograde back in Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde in Pisces, which are also happening this month, please check out the link in the down bar below. I've got a special video dedicated to that. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. This month is all about blending. It's all about pairs and partnerships and collaborations and alliances making huge breakthroughs and pushing through a lot of glass ceilings and knocking down a lot of walls. We start off the month with a full moon in Sagittarius on the 3rd. This is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, intimacy, self-employment, supplemental income, as well as anything relating to monies you might share with others, such as spouses, romantic partners, business partners, or business alliances, or any kind of funds where there may be more than one person involved. And this full moon is going to be, of course, bringing culminations, transitions, and endings, as well as high energy forcing movement in this part of your chart. You could find that there is a way to eliminate some kind of financial block or financial bind that could be tying up or taking money out of one of these spaces, or preventing one of these areas of your life from being able to maybe set up a new financial normal. This could be a time of getting a chance to eliminate a debt. And when it comes to love and romance, a full moon in the 8th house can be quite intense and quite hot. So enjoy yourselves as well. Some of you may be getting a bit wild in the first half of June. Just be careful, though, with a full moon. Again, it is about raising high energy and forcing movement. And not everyone can handle, high energy in a dignified way. And so sometimes you're going to have to pay attention to what is brought up and brought out during this period, and if something or someone is worth working with. Okay, that's going to be a big message for everyone throughout the course of this month. We've got Mars and Venus pairing up in Leo throughout pretty much the entirety of the month. On the 5th of June, Venus joins Mars in Leo, and again, they stay there all the way up until the beginning of July. This is your 4th house of home and family, your living situation, anything relating to your roots or home-based business operations, and your home economy. So we've got this combined power going on here, working on making sure everything is in tip-top shape and better. Mars, of course, is bringing in high energy. It's all about blockbusting, rousing activity, eliminating obstacles, getting rid of problems, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth. And we have Venus here bringing in love, favors, popularity, affection, gifts that deepen bonds and commitments, and bringing new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. And this is going to be a time where those of you who do have, say, a home-based business operation are going to be really living it up. But for those of you who are maybe thinking about starting one, you may also find that there is a really important connection or collaboration that you'll be able to make to help get something bigger than maybe you thought you could do. This is also a time where you may be finding that your whole home and family world is going through a bit of an overhaul in the best of ways. Mars is all about eliminating old problems and obstacles and shadows that may have followed us from the past, and Venus is all about replacing them with new fineries, new luxuries, and love. This is also going to be a time where you may be finding that you are getting ready to plant some serious new roots with a personal hope or aspiration you have for yourself, or maybe something you'd like to do for your kids, or maybe something you'd like to do with a partner. We also have the Sun and Mercury pairing up this month in Gemini from the 11th onward. Through the 11th, the first, 10 days or so of the month, 10, 11 days, it depends on where you live in the world, actually, but the first 11 days of the month, Mercury will be in Taurus and kind of working on catching up on old matters that fell behind in your life during the retrograde in May. But after the 11th, the Sun and Mercury are going hard at work together in your 2nd house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. And so we see a big combined force of the Sun bringing in attention, enhancement, support, and growth, new resources, upgrades, and updates, and Mercury forcing fast productivity, bringing in rapid developments, acceleration, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans and hopes, speeding up the rate with which we are accumulating wealth. And this is consistent from the 11th through about the 21st of the month. We also have a new moon in this part of your chart on the 18th. And in the 2 weeks following the new moon in Gemini, a lot of you are also going to be finding that some kind of new source of revenue or a new big project or maybe even a new job or new role is going to be put on the table for you that is going to meet the priorities of the Sun and Mercury working together, helping you to make money faster, helping you to climb the ladder faster, make a bigger name for yourself, and boost your own business, boost your own earning power consistently for the rest of the year. So pay close attention to when that comes up. You're going to want to engage, right? Don't just sit back and receive. You are going to have to participate in your own life. After the 26th of the month, Mercury moves on into Cancer, where the Sun will have already been as of the 21st. So they're continuing their connection, their pair as well. With the Sun and Mercury together in your third house of communications, pacts, promises, and commitments, helpful third parties, and your peer group at the end of this month and the first half of July, you're going to want to get ready to be in circulation. People are coming to be hooking you up. You're going to be in for a lot of opportunities to have collaborations, business alliances, group projects, team efforts, and even expansions to your social life. Start to broaden the horizons of your whole world. This can also be a time where a lot of help is coming to you, people offering to do things for you, take things off your hands, or even hook you up or matchmake you with more lucrative opportunities for growth, for wealth, and also maybe even popularizing something that you care about. So that is what I've got for your June, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, again, more in-depth analysis on in the links down below. Got a couple of other videos you might want to check out to really sink your teeth into the month. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. Y'all take care, and I'll see you again soon. Hey there, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is the basic astrological rundown for June 2023. If you are looking for a more in-depth analysis of the month, I urge you to check out my more in-depth analysis video. Covers important aspects and even special dates. I've decided to migrate that video over to the Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel, where I think it'll be much more at home, but I'll leave a link in the comments section down below, pinned at the top. And don't forget, I'll also be adding a link to the Pluto retrograde back in Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde video, because those need some in-depth analysis, and those are also a big influence of the, a great majority of the rest of our year. So again, make sure you check out that comment section if you want to look at those videos. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what is going on with June? So we start June off with a full moon in Sagittarius, which is your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connections. This is your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of your closest one-on-one pursuits, alliances, and involvements. And when we have a full moon in the 7th house, there's a 2-week window period that opens up between the 3rd and the 17th, where a lot of culminations and transitions and endings are taking place. Full moons are all about high energy, forcing movement away from a status quo that has outlived its relevance, outlived its purpose. We need to get a move on. We need to move forward. This can be a period where a lot of close one-on-one relationships that are overdue for some kind of jump forward, or a graduation, or a transition, or a status change are going to have those wheels start turning. And this is also a time where a lot of problem elements, or maybe blocks, or let's just say not helpful influences that may be hampering or cramping your style, or maybe even have been a normal or a status quo in this part of your life, are also going to be up for elimination. We've got Mars and Venus pairing up in Leo this month. As of the 5th of June, Venus will be moving on into Leo, where Mars will already be. This is your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, helpful third parties, collaborations, and your peer group. And when we have Mars coming in with that focus on high energy, blockbusting, that intense rousing of activity, eliminating obstacles, solving problems, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth, you're going to be noticing noticing a lot of people are really showing up for you at this time, right? Mars brings a champion to our cause. This could be a time where you and a collaborator or you and a friend are kind of taking on the world together, and there may even be some help coming from an ally that is looking to help you solve a problem or help you complete something or take on something that you have been either going solo with or something that you've been struggling to complete solo. If you have been looking for collaborators, this is also a great time for that. Or if you've been looking to close the distance between yourself and something that you care about, this is also going to be that month. We've got Venus here as well, again, as of the 5th. The planet of love, favors, popularity, affection, and gifts. So a lot of contributions are coming to you through friends and helpful allies, right? Helpful third parties and collaborators. And you're also going to be noticing a big matchmaking theme throughout the course of this month. People coming and hooking you up with things that you are looking for. So make sure that you are letting other people get involved, especially in things where maybe you have been going solo or keeping people in the dark or at arm's reach or whatever, because this is going to be affecting all areas of your life. It's going to be affecting your finances, your social life, your personal life, your business life, everything. We've got Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, and this is going to be catching up on old matters that fell behind during May's retrograde. But after the 11th, Mercury will be entering Gemini and creating another pair with the Sun, which will already be in Gemini. And so another, again, harmonious union of celestial bodies here. When we have the Sun and Mercury working together, they are blending their focus of attention, enhancement, support, and growth, and rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds to help hurry along your progress. And with them both being in your sign, this is going to be a time where you are getting a chance to not only speed up things that have become slow or sluggish in your life, but you're going to be noticing that you are getting a lot of upgrades and updates to what you're used to working with. These could be resources. These could be atmospheric or environmental. These could be things going on in the job. These could be things going on in your personal space. You're also going to find that you are getting a chance to really live it up, because Mercury is also going to be easing and solving a lot of puzzles that maybe you've been kind of at wit's end in solving yourself, right? There's a focus on new insight, new intelligence, new information that also comes from Mercury. We've also got a new moon in this part of your chart on the 18th of the month. And this is going to be your once-a-year birthday new moon, where you can basically get any kind of new excursion, new creation, or new ambition or desire on the road, right? A new moon in the first house is all about what is it you want to do? What is the wish you want to make? Do you want a new job? Do you want to draw in more wealth? Do you want to move? Do you want a new relationship? Do you want to grow your family? What do you want to do? Do you want to go back to school? It's all about you knowing what you want, right? That is an adult responsibility we all have. But in the 2 weeks following the 18th of the month, the seeds you plant, right, on the mundane and on the spiritual are going to come to fruition, or at least start coming into fruition, likely to be fully manifest by the time we come to September. Finally, we've also got the Sun and Mercury moving on into Cancer, which is your second house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. The Sun will be doing so on the 21st, and Mercury will be joining him once again, resuming their partnership on the 26th. And these will be in this area of your life through mid-July, speeding up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth, as well as climbing any professional ladders that you are looking to climb, and also bringing in new value to the work that you do. So that is what I've got for you, Gemini people. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, for more in-depth analysis, check out the links in the down bar below or in the comments section down below. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time for a basic astrological rundown for June 2023. If you're looking for a more in-depth analysis of the month, where I also cover important dates and special aspects and transits, you might want to check out my more in-depth analysis video. I have decided to migrate that over to my Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel, where it will be much more at home. And I go really in depth on, just basically what is going on with June. And also, you might want to check out my other video on Pluto's retrograde back into Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde in Pisces, because that all starts this month, but it's going to be a prominent influence of the great majority of the rest of our year. And I'll leave another link in the pinned comment section down below for that as well. If you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or follow the links in the down bar below. And with all of that said, let's get started on what's going on with your June. So June starts off with a full moon in Sagittarius in your 6th house of professional and business security, as well as, just work in general, business in general, your reputation, your schedule, the teams that you're on, the people that you serve, and the services that you offer to the world. And a full moon is all about culminations, transitions, endings, and high energy, forcing movement away from an old status quo. And when we have a full moon in the 6th house, there is going to be an opportunity to completely change your job description, your work, your routine, or maybe even migrate into a much more competitive place as it relates to your earning power. This could be something coming up as a bit of a transfer, or maybe something going on where you're getting a chance to migrate projects, work with different populations, get yourself into a space where maybe you're working with or for people that are more compatible with you. This is a beautiful transit. However, again, a full moon can raise the energy really, really high. And we want to make sure that we pay attention to who we can or can't work with, because a full moon does show us that as well, right? Some people don't handle high energy with a lot of dignity or grace, and you can't really work with people who can't work under pressure. And so that might also come up during this period. And this is all going down, or starting to go down, I should say, between the 3rd of June and the 17th of June. We've got Mars and Venus in a very interesting pair this month in Leo, in your 2nd house of earned income, employments, values, and your valuables. Mars will be in here all month long, and Venus will be joining him as of the 5th. And so with Mars, we've got that focus on blockbusting, right? Rousing activity, eliminating obstacles and problem elements, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth. And we've got Venus bringing in love, favors, affection, popularity, gifts, and bringing new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and commitments. And with Venus and Mars together in the 2nd house, you are going to be making a lot of money, but you are going to be finding that you got to keep an eye on your work-life balance, because Mars will always put us in an overtime opportunity, and you might be finding that could be mandatory sometimes. With Venus, you're becoming extremely popular at work, but you are also making money hand over fist throughout the course of June, and even going into the beginnings of July. And you may also find that love, favors, and gifts from Venus could be also hooking you up with more lucrative work opportunities, and maybe even helping you to get into a space where you are getting a chance after we get into mid-July to make more money for not doing as much work as you'll be doing in June. We've got Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, catching up on a lot of old matters that may have fell behind during May's retrograde. But then, as we get to the 11th, Mercury will be joining the Sun in Gemini, creating another important pair that's large and in charge, especially the beginning of the month. I'm sorry, the middle of the month, in the middle of the month. When we have Mercury and the Sun together in your 12th house of your past, privacy, hidden zone, right? Things that might be considered old business, or things that might be going on behind the scenes, we are getting the combined blessings of the Sun and Mercury going to work for us. The Sun in the 12th house brings attention, enhancement, support, and growth, new resources, upgrades, and updates, but it's about bringing things back to life from the past that are still good today, or maybe would have been before their time. And Mercury in your 12th house is all about giving you a chance to find shortcuts, or find ways to maybe get something faster, through maybe secret opportunities, secret gifts, hot tips, special communications that are maybe for you and just for you. And this could be bringing things back to life, for you, whether it's old professional opportunities, old social opportunities, or things for fun, things for recreation, for play, getting things back that may have been lost to time, as well as even returning things that belong to you that maybe you thought were lost forever. And this is, again, a big theme of the middle of this month. When we get to the 18th of the month, we've got a new moon in this area of your chart as well. And this is breathing new life or giving a new lease on life to an important project, pursuit, or connection from the past that we may have left behind at some point in time. Maybe we made a lane change. Maybe we moved really quickly, or we made a big decision in the past and maybe it wasn't necessarily the most careful. Maybe it was on impulse. Maybe we've been kind of redlining it in some area of our life and we took something on too quickly and it displaced something else. A new moon in the 12th house will be helping you make that recovery from the 18th up until about week 1 of July. And then after the 21st of the month, the sun moves on into your sign and will be joined by Mercury on the 26th, right? Resuming their pair. And this is also going to be a big theme through mid-July. And when we have the sun and Mercury in our sign, it's a time of speeding up growth, speeding up accomplishments, as well as speeding up things that have become slow or sluggish in our world, things that have fallen behind the times, catching up on resources, on skill sets, any kind of information or education, but also at the same time speeding up things that could be ours now, right? Speeding up the way it shows up and also speeding up things that maybe, don't need to wait until next year to be accomplished. And so this is going to be a beautiful month for you Cancerian people, but you need to be ready to move fast. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Remember, extra links in the comment section down below to more in-depth videos to give you more information about June. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time for a basic astrological rundown of the month of June 2023. For a much more in-depth analysis, including special dates and important aspects, you can check out the more in-depth analysis video for free on the Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel. I've decided to migrate it over there. I think it'll be much more at home. It's my home as well. And again, I'll be leaving a link in the comment section below, pinned at the top for you. I will also be leaving a link to the Pluto retrograde going back into Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune's retrogrades in Pisces, which are also taking place this month and are large influences of the rest of our year. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And with all that, let's get started on the basics of June. So we start off the month with a full moon in Sagittarius in your 5th house of romance, love, creativity, recreation, monetizable talents, as well as parenthood. And this is opening up a 2-week window period from the 3rd through the 17th for culminations, transitions, endings, and high energy forcing movement away from an old status quo. This is a really important full moon for everybody because this is helping everybody to break out of a rut, whether it's a romantic rut or a rut in a creative pursuit, or maybe for you a rut that could have to do with a relationship with one of your kids. Anything that is overdue for a bit of a push, a bit of a graduation, breaking new ground, expanding or growing its horizons, getting out of a pattern of going in circles is going to be put through this experience. However, with a full moon, this is also going to be a time where you might notice that there are a lot of old stories that have been kept alive for far too long finally getting purged as well. And how people handle the release of those stories for their own good, of course, can be kind of up in the air. Because remember, not everyone handles high energy well. So make sure that you work with who you can work with. But you are going to find that this full moon is beautiful for a graduation period in love, especially when it comes to, transitions of status or status moves that need to happen. And we're also going to be finding that this is breaking down a lot of barriers to closeness, to intimacy, to trust, and to anything that is going to bring a pair closer together, or maybe even light some new fires in love, as well as also create new opportunities to bond with your kids, or even break some kind of roadblock in a creative pursuit. We've also got Mars and Venus pairing up in your sign in Leo. Mars is going to be in your sign all month long, and Venus will be joining him on the 5th for the rest of the month of June. So we've got Mars, the planet of high energy, blockbusting, an intense rousing of activity, eliminating obstacles, problem elements, and bringing in competitive opportunities for growth, working alongside the planet of love, favors, popularity, affection, and deepening bonds, as well as bringing in new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. When these two are together in your first house, you are getting a double wildcard blessing of both. Mars in your sign is allowing you to finally address and clear roads that have been closed to you for whatever reason. And you may also be finding that Mars is knocking down walls to closeness and loyalty and bonding opportunities, even with your friends and collaborators, right? Bringing in people that could really be strong additions to your inner circle. This is also a time where, yes, you're going to be noticing some serious financial boosts when it comes to your income, because Mars is all about bringing in profit through labor. And with Venus here, you are a love, favor, and popularity magnet. And you may be finding that you are getting a bit of a special treatment during this period from other people. You're going to be the first to know, the first to receive, and you're also going to be getting a chance to polish a lot of things in your life that maybe you have not had a lot of time to give attention to. And you are also going to be the recipient of a lot of special hookups. We've got Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, which is all about catching up on matters that maybe fell behind during May's retrograde. But after the 11th of the month, Mercury will be joining the Sun in Gemini, which is your 11th house of friendships and social networking, your platonic support system, the guys, the gals, anything relating to your loftiest goals and ambitions and adventure. And when we have the Sun and Mercury making their own pair, their own partnership, the middle of the month is all about transforming your social life. The Sun is bringing in attention, enhancement, support, and growth, new resources, upgrades, and updates, and Mercury is bringing rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to more successful fruitions. And so not only are you getting a chance to expand your sense of community, expand your tribe, so to speak, but the Sun is also going to be bringing in a lot more lightness, more levity, eliminating old shadows and old issues in your social life, and people are going to be very generous with you. And you're going to find that Mercury is also helping you to speed up the accomplishment of a big goal or aspiration that you have for this lifetime. And from the 11th of the month through the 21st, you're also going to find that this is going to be opening up lines of communication, even with friends that you may have lost touch with, that are still a very important part of your group, of your core community. And this is going to give you a chance to also set new bonding agents, right? Bring in stronger glue for those ties. After we get to the 18th, we have a new moon in this part of your chart as well. So a new moon, right, is all about fresh starts, new beginnings, new long-term commitments. And you may be finding that a friend, whether they are a friend you know or a brand new friend this month, is going to also be setting you up with some kind of new long-term commitment opportunity that you are going to have to make room for, but will be a very valuable asset or addition in your life. And that's going to start to materialize, from the 18th of June on into week 1 of July. This is also a time where you are getting a chance to take on some kind of brand new journey or new adventure for an important professional or creative pursuit that really does get your fire burning. After the 18th and going on to the 21st of the month, we've got the Sun moving on into Cancer, and then Mercury will be joining the Sun in Cancer on the 26th, resuming their connection, their partnership, their pair. And this is your 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone. And from the last week or so of June going up until about mid-July, there is this big focus on getting you back into alignment with things that you lost touch with in the past, or bringing things back to you that may have been left behind or lost in the past. The sun here is all about revival, right? Things that maybe you turned away from or had to give up or lost for whatever reason. The sun is like, let's revive it. Let's get this back in sync. Maybe it's an old job opportunity we got passed over for. Maybe it's old money. Maybe it's some kind of career pursuit or an old friendship or some old commitment that we would like to have. Maybe it was something that we had to give up for other reasons. Maybe it was something that we accidentally left behind on impulse. It doesn't matter. We're getting realigned with it during this period. And Mercury is also going to be hooking you up with a lot of different shortcuts, important breaks that are going to help you to maybe further yourself or something that you care about that is going to come to you through secret means, right? Whether it's special information given to you in confidence, special treatment, things going on behind closed doors, private meetings, or again, hot tips. You're going to be set up very, very well this month for a lot of fast breaks that are going to help you to make a big jump or a big move as we go into the second half of the year that would have taken a lot longer had you been staying with the strategies that maybe you were working with prior to June. So that is what I've got for your basic rundown of June. Again, for a more in-depth analysis, you might want to check out my more in-depth video. Again, links in the comment section down below at the top. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below as well. Take care. Hey there, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your basic monthly astrological rundown for June 2023. And if you are interested in a more in-depth analysis, including important dates and special aspects, you might want to check out my in-depth video. I've decided to move that over to Integrative Mysticism, my other YouTube channel, where it'll be much more at home. And you can find that by following the link in the pinned comment down below. I will also be adding another link to another special video all about Pluto's retrograde back into Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune's retrogrades in Pisces, which are also getting underway this month, and they will also be a prominent influence of the vast majority of the rest of our year. So again, you might want to check those out after this. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on when it comes to your July? Not July, your June, though a lot of this will be carrying into July. So we start off the month with a full moon in Sagittarius on June 3rd, which is taking place in your fourth house of home and family. So your living situation, your home economy, your roots, as well as even your family members. And with a full moon in the fourth house, right, full moons are all about culminations, transitions, endings, and high energy, forcing movement away from an old status quo. And when we have a full moon in the fourth house, a lot of you Virgo people are going to be noticing some big environmental transitions going on here. Some of you who are house hunters may be loving this aspect because this is going to give you an opportunity to get on the move. This could also be a time where you may notice a big break or a big transition into a much more comfortable way when it comes to your home economy or maybe the expansion of a home-based business operation. And there will also be, though, a period of clearing a lot of old family business that might not necessarily be helping us in any way, right? A full moon is all about getting rid of what doesn't work anymore. And so old family matters, old family shadows may come up during this period, and you're going to need to be ready for it. But keep an eye on who you can work with because, again, full moon, high energy, not everyone can handle high energy in a dignified way, and you got to know who you can and can't work with in life. But do what you can to get through because this is all working for you. And again, this is a huge theme of the 3rd through the 17th of the month. We also have Mars and Venus working as a pair in Leo. Mars is in Leo all month long, and Venus will be joining him as of the 5th of the month. And this is in your 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone. And this is all about areas of old business and what's going on behind the scenes. And with Mars in the 12th house, bringing that focus on blockbusting, an intense rousing of activity, eliminating obstacles, eliminating problem elements, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth, you're going to find that this month is going to be helping you to eliminate a lot of old challenges that may have followed you in whatever area of your life from the past as it affects the present. And you may also find that competitive opportunities that have been hidden from view are also going to be showing up, right? People going out of their way to help you, people that you may or may not know are fighting battles with and for you are going to be showing up, getting revealed, and you may be also finding that some people are solving problems that you thought you had to solve behind the scenes. We've also got Venus here bringing love, favors, popularity, affection, gifts, deepening bonds, as well as new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and commitments. And with Venus in the 12th house, a lot of you may be finding that love and romance is going into a much more sanctuary kind of way. This could be a time where you and a partner are pulling away from crowds, deciding to treat yourselves to a bit of a honeymoon phase. Some of you may also be finding that this is a time where you are getting a chance to maybe explore some kind of fantasy unexplored. And you may also be finding that old gifts or even old money may be coming to you from out of the past. We've got Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, catching up on matters that maybe fell behind during May's retrograde. But after the 11th, Mercury will be joining the Sun in Gemini for the middle of the month. And this is a huge push for everybody, right? This is our second pair of planets or our second pair of celestial bodies. And so we've got Mercury and the Sun together working hard on your 10th house of career, upward mobility, your status, stations, promotions, anything to do with raises. And the Sun is all about attention, enhancement, support, and growth, bringing you new resources, opportunities for advancement. And Mercury is all about rapid developments and accelerated productivity and fast fruitions. And so you are going to find that you are getting launched in a very big way in the middle of this month. You are going to be needing to be ready to be more engaged and more active and more social when it comes to your career, your work life, but you're also finding you're getting more value for the work that you're putting out there. People are recognizing you for your talents. People are getting to know you for you as opposed to maybe what they project on you. And this is also going to be a time where things that were maybe put off to further down the road as far as transfers, promotions, and raises are also getting moved up. We also have a new moon in this part of your chart on the 18th of the month, and this is opening up a 2-week window period starting on the 18th and going up until about week 1 of July, where a lot of you are getting a chance to score some kind of jump into a new role, a new status, a new work profile, and maybe even expanding on some kind of source of revenue that you have through your career, what you do for a living, making it wider and all the more lucrative. After the 18th and the new moon gets underway, we've got the Sun entering Cancer on the 21st of the month, and we've got Mercury joining him, resuming their pair on the 26th. And this is going to be an influence all the way up through mid-July in your 11th house of friendships and social networking, your loftiest goals and ambitions, as well as adventure. And when we have the Sun and Mercury together here, there is a focus on closing distances, whether it's closing distances with friends, closing distances with collaborators, and also getting you out there, right? Really getting you out of your bubble, out of your comfort zone in order to experience, let's just say, a much more exhilarating and creatively and intellectually stimulating way of life. The Sun is bringing in opportunities to bond more closely with people, right? Giving you a stronger, true sense of community, attracting new friends while also pulling closer friends that you already know. And Mercury is also speeding up the accomplishment of an important life goal or achievement you have been trying to make sure that you master and you complete in this lifetime. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website, integrativemysticism.com. And don't forget the links below to more in-depth analysis of what's going on with June. Take care. Hey there, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to a basic rundown of June 2023. For a more in-depth analysis, including more important dates as well as important transits and aspects, I urge you to check out my more in-depth analysis video of June, and I have migrated that video over to the Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel where it'll be much more at home, and I'll leave a link at the top of the comments section in a pinned comment for you. I'll also be linking the Pluto retrograde back in Capricorn as well as Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Pisces video, because that is a lot to break down, and so I made a special video for that. And that's not just going to be for June, that's also for a great deal of the rest of our year. So if you want to really get in the know, you might want to check those out. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to June? Well, we start off the month with a full moon in Sagittarius, your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, contracts, and helpful third parties, your peer group. And full moons are all about culminations, transitions, endings, and high energy, forcing movement away from an old status quo. And when we have a full moon, it opens up a 2-week window period. It's not just all on the day, but between the 3rd of June and the 17th of June, you're going to be noticing that there is some kind of break going on when it comes to maybe a contract, a commitment, or maybe an association, whether it's social or business, it doesn't matter, that is keeping you stuck in an old status quo. At the same time, however, this is also going to be bringing in an opportunity for a big growth spurt in your life through the help of a helpful third party, a friend, an ally, a collaborator, a partner, or somebody that is looking to hook you up. However, it is going to require you to be ready to boost your own skill set, right? Get ready to learn more. Get ready to maybe get ahead when it comes to areas of your maybe training or your education on the matter being brought forward. We also have Mars and Venus as a pair this month, the vast majority of the month, in Leo, which is your 11th house of friendships and social networking, your platonic support system, as well as your loftiest goals and ambitions. And with Mars bringing that focus on blockbusting, high energy, solving problems, solving puzzles, as well as bringing competitive opportunities for growth, and Venus bringing in love, favors, popularity, affection, and, new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and commitments, this is going to be a time where a lot of you Libra people are getting a chance to see your community or your support system really go to work for you. Mars in the 11th house is all about eliminating any kind of blocks, fake friendships, or superficial or, unhelpful people from your communities, from your teams, from your world, while also bringing the best and brightest forward to join up with you on important adventures, excursions, and even help you take on important tasks that are going to profit everybody involved. And Venus is going to be hooking you up in love. If you're in a partnership, this is going to be a time where your partnership is going on a bit of an excursion, a bit of an adventure, right? A bit of a honeymoon phase. And for those of you who are single or available to new people, it may be through your own friendship circle that you are able to find love. We've got Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, catching up on matters that maybe fell behind during May's retrograde. But as of the 11th, Mercury is joining the Sun in Gemini. And so we have another important pair of planets going to work this month. These two together in your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, culture, expansion, both personal and business, as well as your spiritual path and practice, are all about getting you out of your bubble, getting you out of maybe a space in life that has been on repeat or it's become stale. The Sun is all about attention, enhancement, support, and growth. bringing you new resources, upgrades, and updates. And this could be powerful for maybe boosting your popularity, boosting your profile, getting your name out there, getting you on the road. And this is also a time with Mercury where the focus of rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds is going to be speeding up the completion of a lot of conversations, a lot of to-dos, a lot of projects that maybe have been long-standing in your life that you've needed to complete or get away from in order to move forward with something that's more important to you. There's lots of travel opportunities that are going to be getting underway during this month, at least getting the seeds planted. And you are also going to get a chance to raise the roof when it comes to your earning power, but you are, again, kind of like what we saw with the full moon, going to need to be ready to take on a lot of training, a lot of new information, get ready to be in circulation, and that is a big theme, especially in the middle of this month. We have a new moon in this part of your chart as well on the 18th. And a new moon in the 9th house is all about setting up some kind of new important contact, new important project, or new important tie that is going to be giving you an opportunity to take something that has stayed small in your world and make it bigger. Whether this is something that is personal, something for you and your home and your family, something for a relationship, or maybe even something as it relates to your earning power and your job profile. And this is going to be sinking in between the 18th of June and about week 1 of July. And finally, as we get to the end of the month, we've got the Sun and Mercury moving on into Cancer. And so the Sun will be there on the 21st, and Mercury will be rejoining him to continue their partnership on the 26th. And as we close up June and go on into July, these two are lighting up your 10th house of career, upward mobility, your status, station, promotions, and raises. And with Mercury speeding up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth, and the Sun speeding up the rate with which you are climbing a professional ladder, a lot of you are going to be getting set up for a big promotion, a big jump, or new job status as we step into mid-July. And you may be finding that you're also getting a lot more value when you step into this new position, this new profile, this new role. So that is what I've got for June, just in a basic nutshell. If you're interested in more in-depth analysis, again, check out the links in the down bar below. Well, in the top of the comments section down below. I know it can be a bit confusing. If you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, and I will see you all again soon. Hey there, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on with just a basic astrological rundown for June 2023. If you're looking for a more in-depth analysis, including important transits and important dates, or more important dates, I should say, might want to check out my in-depth analysis video. I've decided to migrate it over to Integrative Mysticism, where I think it will be much more at home, and you can find that by just going to the comment section. I'll be pinning a comment at the top with important links. I will also be linking the Pluto retrograde back in Capricorn and Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde in Pisces video, because that is not just an influence for June, but also for a great majority of the rest of our year. So you got a lot to catch up on if you want to get serious about astrology. So what is going on when it comes to your month? Well, we start off the month with a full moon in Sagittarius, which is in your second house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. And this is opening up a 2-week window period between the 3rd and the 17th of the month for culminations, transitions, and endings, and high energy forcing movement away from an old status quo. A lot of the times with the full moon in the second house, we find an opportunity to jump from one role or one station or one project into another. Some of you may be finding that this is giving you an important lateral move when it comes to life on the job. Some of you may be finding this is closing up some unfortunate but happy to see leave financial business. And some of you may even be finding that this is giving you a golden opportunity that you may quit something that you're committed to now in order to attain. We've got Mars and Venus paired in Leo, pretty much all month long. Mars is there all month long, and then Venus is joining Mars as of the 5th. This is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, your status, station, promotions, anything to do with raises. And Mars bringing high energy, blockbusting, and intense rousing of activity to eliminate obstacles and problem elements here and bring competitive opportunities for growth is putting you in a way where you are probably going to be working a lot more during this month, right? Expect some mandatory overtime, but also expect to break some boundaries, break some glass ceilings, and get yourself into a space where you can set a trend for being a much higher earner throughout the rest of this year. We also have Venus here, the planet of love, favors, popularity, and affection and gifts, bringing new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. And with Venus in the 10th house, your professional profile is soaring. You may be finding that you are becoming the first pick for a lot of choice opportunities that may be going on with higher ups, maybe even a big boost as there may be a trend shift going on in your community, your business, or maybe the place that you work. And you are also getting a chance to maybe score some kind of important raise or gift or bonus during this period as well. We've got Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, which is going to be catching up on old matters that fell behind during May's retrograde. But as of the 11th, Mercury will be moving into Gemini to join the Sun, creating another very important pair. And when we have the Sun and Mercury together in Gemini, they are combining the powers of attention, enhancement, support, and growth, right? That's what the Sun brings, upgrades and updates and opportunities for advancement. And Mercury's focus on rapid developments, accelerated productivity, quick turnarounds, moving up plans, and helping hopes and aspirations to manifest faster. In your your 8th house, I've been looking at a 9 I wrote down here, in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy. So when we have the Sun and Mercury together in the 8th house, this is a time where you are noticing your supplemental income, right? Bonuses, incentive programs, sales, anything you've got going on with a self-employment situation, going through a huge boost. Mercury is also speeding up their growth. And we also have there being a big boost to shared income, whether it's income you share with a romantic partner or a business partner or some kind of alliance that you're a part of. This is also a time where a lot of you are going to be getting a chance to move up the completion of maybe an important investment you are looking to make or maybe get started with. And so you're going to be very, very busy in the middle of the month, but there are going to be rewards every step of the way. We've got a new moon in this part of your chart as well on the 18th of the month, and this is going to be setting up a new source of income for you. A new moon in the 8th house adds on some kind of passive income or side income that was not there before. Or this could be good news about maybe a big break that a business partner, a romantic partner, or a spouse is having when it comes to a way that they are bringing money to the table in a shared resource situation. And that's going to show up sometime between June 18th and about week 1 of July. And we have, after that, Mercury and the Sun continuing their transit their pair together into the sign of Cancer, your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, culture, expansion, personal and business, and your spiritual path and practice. And so the Sun will be entering this part of your chart on the 21st, and Mercury will be entering on the 26th, right? Just getting together again and keeping that partnership going between the two. And this will be a theme going all the way up through mid-July. A lot of you are getting a chance to boost your popularity during this period, whether it's boosting your popularity in your social life or maybe with a business profile. A lot of you are going to find that there's kind of a celebrity feeling with this, especially with the Sun in the 9th house. And a lot of you are also going to find that there is the speeding up or completion of some kind of old contract or commitment or agreement, something that has been a prominent influence in your life up until this point. This could be from something in the distant past or something in the recent past. You are also going to be finding that a lot of you are getting showered with opportunities for travel, as well as maybe even a way to market or promote or gain more of a following or more interest in something that is deeply important to you. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what the basic astrological rundown for June 2023 is for you. However, if you'd like a more in-depth analysis, including more important dates and aspects, I would like to refer you to the more in-depth analysis of June that I have since migrated over to the Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel, where I think it will be much more at home. And you can find that by just following the link at the top of the comment section down below. And don't also forget to check out the Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde, and Saturn retrograde video I recently put up as well. I'll leave a link in that same pinned comment because that's not just a June aspect or a June influence that we're dealing with, but we're going to be feeling those energies for a great majority of the rest of the year. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on when it comes to your month? Well, we've got the start of the month getting off with a bang with a full moon in your sign. So a full moon on the 3rd in Sagittarius, which is all about culminations, transitions, and endings, high energy, forcing movement away from old status quos. And in the 2 weeks following the 3rd, you are going to be noticing that there is an opportunity to make a big break from something that you have been trying to maybe separate yourself from. A full moon in one's own sign, such as it is with you, is an opportunity to quit, to detach, to release, to move, to get yourself in a way where you no longer have to hold on to or engage with something, whether it's a story, whether it's a project, an expense, or a person, or a situation. It does not matter. However, with it being in your sign, you are in charge of making sure that this goes to work. So take the time to see what is it you would like to release yourself of. There will be plenty of opportunities to make that happen. Just be mindful, we are dealing with a full moon, which means high energy forcing movement, and not everyone handles high energy astrologically with grace or dignity, and you might not necessarily be able to work with certain people, but you will still be able to get what you want. When it comes to another very special aspect we have at the start of the month, Mars and Venus will be pairing up in Leo for pretty much the entirety of June. Mars is in Leo at the very start of the month, and Venus will be joining him on the 5th. And so these two are going to be combining powers in your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, culture, expansion, both personal and business, as well as your spiritual path and practice. And Mars, of course, is bringing in high energy itself, a blockbusting, rousing of activity, focusing on eliminating obstacles and problem elements from this area of your life, and bringing opportunities for growth, right? Bringing competitive opportunities for growth. And Venus is bringing in love, favors, popularity, affection, and new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. With these two working together in the 9th house, you're going to be finding that Mars is helping to get rid of a lot of impediments or obstructions that have been imposed on you or your world in recent or less recent history. Whether they are just sort of norms or they are people, contracts, agreements, or impositions of any kind, Mars is going to work there, and Mars is also bringing a champion to your cause to see it through. And we also have Venus bringing in a new kind of aliveness to your love life, right? Venus in the 9th house is all about getting adventurous, getting out of our bubble, getting experimental, and getting a touch of the exotic when it comes to our most personal life. And so for a lot of you who are single or available to new people, you're going to be meeting people that do have a touch of the exotic or a bit of a foreignness to you, people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different upbringings, right? Bringing in a fresh energy into the mix 26. And for those of you who are coupled or are married, you may be finding that you're going on this kind of adventure together with a partner, or a partner may be going through this kind of awakening in their own personality, or their own drives, or their own ethos. You may also find with Mars here that there is going to also be a big boost in order to give you a more powerful influence in either your professional life or hook you up to work with more powerful people. Just be ready though, because we are going to have to be a bit more involved in this area of our life throughout the course of this month as well. We've got Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, which is all about catching up on matters that fell behind during May's retrograde. However, after the 11th, Mercury is in Gemini, joining the Sun for another very special pair, another very special partnership of planets. And when we have Mercury and the Sun together, right, the Sun will be in Gemini through the 21st of the month, and Mercury will be there, again, as of the 11th. We are combining the powers of the Sun, attention, enhancement, support, growth, bringing new resources, upgrades, and updates, and Mercury bringing rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds to the foreground, and also moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to more successful fruitions. This is all happening in your 7th house of partnerships, your closest one-on-one connections. So this is your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you have your closest one-on-one involvements and alliances with. The Sun is making them all the more productive, enterprising, lucrative, but also bringing in a lot more fun, helping to create stronger friendships with partners, whether they are romantic partners or they are business partners, or even just creating stronger relationships with friends, right? Because it's the friendship element of anything in those situations that keeps a relationship strong and ever evolving and give it that sturdiness and that security. And so you could think of it as like a very strong sort of retreat experience, you know, the whole couple or the whole partnership or the whole alliance is going through in order to make it something more substantial. Mercury is also speeding up the accomplishment of a joint goal, whether it's a goal that you have with a romantic partner, a business partner, or some kind of business alliance, and also bringing in more success and more wealth through that avenue. We also have a new moon in this part of your chart on the 18th of the month, and a new moon in the 7th house is all about getting a new commitment made solid, whether it is a professional commitment or a creative commitment or a romantic commitment. A lot of you may also be finding that this is drawing in new potential partners and allies of all kinds into your life. If you're single and available, there would be somebody who is looking for a long-term relationship. If you are in a relationship already, this could be, again, another change and evolution in your partner, or perhaps you and your partner moving your relationship to a new era, to a new level. And if you're looking for a new business partnership or more business allies, this has got you covered as well, June 18th through week 1 of July. Finally, we also have the Sun and Mercury carrying on their partnership into the sign of Cancer. The Sun is moving in there on the 21st of the month, and Mercury will be moving in there on the 26th. And this is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy and self-employment, and monies that you may share with other people. And with the Sun here, we are seeing a lot of income that maybe doesn't come from a salary or an hourly situation, go through a boost to your investments, a boost to sales, commissions, tips, incentive programs, bonuses all over the place. And we're also seeing a beautiful shift as it relates to a self-employment venture if you have one. And Mercury is speeding up the rate with which we are accumulating this wealth. And this is not just for the end of this month, this is going all the way up through mid-July. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on with a basic astrological rundown for June 2023. For a more in-depth analysis, including more important dates as well as aspects, I would recommend checking out my more in-depth analysis video. I have since migrated it over to the Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel, where I think it'll be more at home. And you can find that link by going to the down bar beneath this video. In the comment section, I'll be pinning a comment for for you there with that link. And also, I'll be linking another important video about Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune turning retrograde in Pisces. Those are all happening this month, but they did need a bit more talk, and they are going to be lasting for more than just this month. So I'll leave that link there for you as well. If you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. And with all of that said, let's get started with the rundown of June. So we start off the month with a full moon in Sagittarius in your 12th house of your past, privacy, hidden zone, unfinished business, as well as matters going on behind the scenes. And this full moon is going to be opening up a 2-week window period between the 3rd and the 17th, where a lot of culminations, transitions, and endings are going to be taking place, right? High energy, forcing movement away from an old status quo with regards to a matter of the past as it affects the present, or something that is holding you or something in your life in attachment to the past, or something from the past that needs to disappear. A full moon in the 12th house is all about getting rid of old business that needs to either let go of us or that we need to let go of for our own good and the good of everyone around us and everything we've got going on. This can be an extremely freeing and exhilarating and liberating experience, or this could be personally challenging depending on what you've got going on and what you're doing with it. But in this 2-week window period, expect for a great unburdening. Just be mindful when it comes to other people. Not everyone handles high energy astrologically with dignity, and that can kind of tell you who you can and can't work with, right? But you just want to make sure that you are following through, because this is happening for you. We also have Mars and Venus working in a very special pair this month. Mars is in Leo from the start of the month, and Venus will be joining him in Leo on the 5th of the month. And so they are unifying powers to work together. And this is happening in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy, self-employment, and monies you may share with partners, whether they are romantic partners or they are business partners. And so we've got Mars here focusing on blockbusting, problem solving, eliminating obstacles, but also bringing competitive opportunities for growth, and Venus bringing favors, popularity, affection, and deepening bonds, bringing new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. And throughout the course of this month, you're going to be finding that your supplemental income is going to be on the rise if you make bonuses, commissions, tips, you're part of incentive programs or sales, side hustles, self-employment opportunities, all of those on the rise. Partnerships, whether they are romantic partnerships, marital partnerships, or they are business partnerships, are also going to be generating a lot of liquidity. And Mars is also going to be generating new sources of revenue here for you to take on that are quite competitive. Just be careful with Mars, because it can be tempting to go way too hard, way too fast. It can be very tempting to do something impulsive or a bit crazy. So you want to keep your head on straight, right? We are responsible for making sure we are grounded. Romantically, things are also going to be very hot with this combination this month, because Venus and Mars together makes everyone, well, let their hair down, get a little bit carnal, get a little bit wild, get a little bit frisky, and that is also a huge theme of this month for y'all. We also have Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, which is all about catching up on old matters that fell behind during May's retrograde. But after the 11th, Mercury is in Gemini, alongside the Sun, creating another significant pair. And with the Sun and Mercury together in Gemini, your 6th house of professional and business security, your work, your reputation, your schedule, as well as the teams you're on and the services you offer and the people you serve, we've got the planet of speed, rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, Mercury, combining its powers with the Sun's focus on attention, enhancement, support, and growth. And you're going to be finding that you are getting hooked up with a lot of ways to sort of make lateral moves or make jumps either on the job or even into new job opportunities that are going to be giving you a lot more value for what you bring to the table, your skills, and basically who you are. The sun is also going to be boosting your reputation in your field, in your industry, in your market. If you're job hunting, this is going to be a great time for that. And Mercury is also going to be speeding up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth. So get ready to get on the move. This is a time of big boosts professionally and financially. And the middle of the month is pretty much dominated by this transit. We also have a new moon here on the 18th, and so there could also be a new role, offer, or proposition coming your way between the 18th of this month and week 1 of July. And you want to at least hear it out because this could be a big break for you. Finally, we also have this pair of Mercury and the Sun working together, carrying on as they move out of the sign of Gemini and into the sign of Cancer. The Sun will be moving in there on the 21st of the month, and Mercury will be following suit on the 26th. So we still have this very strong union of these two. This is your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connections. Your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you have your closest one-on-one involvements with. And with the Sun, this is all about bringing in closer friendships or even delving into making a stronger friendship with an important contact or maybe several important one-on-one relationships, whether it's creating a stronger bond in a business alliance, creating a stronger, more playful friendship with a romantic partner, or even helping to bring you closer and more deeply connected with a very, very close friend, maybe all of the above. And Mercury is going to be speeding up the accomplishment of a joint pursuit, a joint goal, or something that you and a partner, or you and a spouse, or you and a friend have been trying to bring forth into being and accomplish together. And that's not just for the end of this month, that's an influence going all the way up through mid-July. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website, integrativemysticism.com. And don't forget the links to the more in-depth videos down below. Take care. Hey there, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what the basic astrological rundown for June 2023 is. For a more in-depth analysis on more important dates as well as important aspects, you might want to check out my in-depth analysis video of the month by checking on the link down in the comment section below. I'll be pinning that at the top. I have migrated my in-depth analysis video of June over to the Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel where I think it's more at home, and you can check that out there. I will also be linking in the pinned comment the Pluto retrograde back into Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune going retrograde in Pisces video, which are happening this month, but will be more of an influence not just for June, but for the majority of the rest of our year. So what is going on with June? Well, we've got a full moon in Sagittarius taking place on the 3rd in your 11th house of friendships, social networking, your platonic support system, the guys, the gals, as well as your loftiest goals and ambitions. And in this 2-week window period from the 3rd to the 17th of the month, we're seeing a focus on culminations, transitions, and endings, high energy forcing movement away from an old status quo, or maybe several status quos, as it relates to this part of your chart. This full moon can indicate the end of a fractious relationship, a fractious friendship, something that has already been a source of trouble or headaches or problems. People who might be a part of a group or a social connection or association that you have, whether it's in your personal life or in your business life, that have become liabilities, kind of loose cannons. And what can sometimes happen with the full moon here is that we see something that does need to end for everybody's own good getting highlighted. Now again, this is the 11th house, so we are talking more about friendships, or maybe not so much good friendships anymore. Let's just say associations. All right, so, it's not really something so deeply personal, or at least it's not something that would be a part of your closest inner circle. However, it does need to be released. And again, most of the time with this aspect, this person or the situation was already hanging by a thread. The damage had already been done. Just be careful. Again, high energy can be something that not everybody handles with a lot of grace and dignity, but that can also tell you who you can and can't work with, right? Especially when it comes to people who can and can't handle certain bits of astrology. That'll tell you who you can and can't work with. We also have Mars and Venus making a very special union this month. Mars will be in Leo from the start of the month, and Venus will be joining him in Leo on the 5th. And so this is the first of two very important pairs that are running June. And this is your 7th house of partnerships, your closest one-on-one connections, your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of the people you have your closest one-on-one involvements and alliances with. Mars, of course, is bringing a focus on blockbusting, problem solving, removing problem elements, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth. And Venus is bringing in love, favors, popularity, affection, gifts, and new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. And when we have these two combined in the 7th house, this is all about getting a chance to have almost the most idyllic setup when it comes to all kinds of close one-on-one connections. Because Mars is helping to clear out obstacles to having the partnership on the terms that you want, or having the idyllic partnership for work or for your personal life without any kind of problem elements or shadows or even environmental impositions. This is also going to be a time where old challenges that may have come up, or old challenges that may still be influencing a partnership of some kind, are going to be getting cleared. And this is also a time of clearing out walls to intimacy, walls to closeness, and walls to a tighter friendship or a tighter bond in all of these relationships. Venus is also bringing in a lot more of an opportunity to experience, showering everybody with gifts, celebrations, much more pleasure, as well as, again, those gifts and enrichment opportunities to maybe lift up your most treasured pursuits and connections are also going to be transforming the landscape around a lot of your partnerships, right? Business partnerships are becoming a lot more productive, more fun, more light, but at the same time more lucrative, honestly. And with Venus for the love side of things, of course, this is going to be kind of like a honeymoon period for a lot of you, right? Maybe those of you who are committed are having another honeymoon phase already, if you're already committed or married. And for those of you who are single or available to new people, it's an opportunity to go into honeymoon phase with somebody new. When it comes to Mercury, the first 10 or 11 days or so of the month, Mercury is in Taurus, working on catching up, on matters that fell behind during May's retrograde. And after the 11th, though, we have Mercury moving on into Gemini, joining the Sun for the second pair, or creating the second influential pair of this month. So with the Sun and Mercury together in your 5th house of romance, creativity, love, recreation, monetizable talents, and your relationships with your kids, this is also bringing in a time of great sweetness for you. The Sun is all about attention, enhancement, support, and growth, bringing in new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement. And Mercury is all about rapid developments, accelerated productivity, quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to faster fruitions. In the 5th house, this is going to be helping you to delve into ways to make stronger, more intellectually connected relationships with partners, again, with your kids, as well as even creative collaborators. You may be finding that a lot of new resources, upgrades, and updates are coming to a creative project, or maybe some kind of talent that you are looking to monetize, kind of get that show on the road. Love and romance is going to be a lot more playful, right? The Sun is all about connecting at that inner child level, bringing in more wholesome simplicity, uncomplicating things, getting a new sense of purity and sweetness into all of our doings. And Mercury is also going to help speed up the accomplishment of an important goal or pursuit you've embarked upon with a partner, with one of your kids, or maybe a partner-to-be. And this is a huge theme of the middle of the month, going right up to the 21st. We have a new moon in this part of your chart as well on the 18th of the month. And this is all about a new love story getting started. For those of you who are partnered or are married, this could be a new chapter in love, a new way to express our love. This could be a new phase that we are going into as a couple. This could also indicate the beginning of a new love relationship for those of you who are single or available to new people. And this is also a time where we might be entering into a new stage in a way that we are connecting to or bonding with one of our children. And this is going to be something that sets a tone for a new normal that settles in from the 18th of June all the way up until about week 1 of July. Finally, we have the Sun and Mercury continuing their partnership, moving on into the sign of Cancer. The Sun on the 21st of the month and Mercury on the 26th of the month. And through the middle of July, these two are hard at work in your 6th house of professional and business security, work, reputation, schedule, as well as the teams you're on and the services you offer and the people that you serve. And this is all about better business, starting to work in a way where you're getting more value for what you're bringing to the table. You might be finding that you are working with much more enjoyable customer or client bases. Important lateral moves, new job opportunities or new roles are also going to be put on the table. And Mercury is speeding up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth. You know, that's something I always say, but I don't know what tripped over the tongue there. But Mercury is speeding up the rate with which you are making money in this part of your chart as well. And again, it's not just for the end of June, it's going up until mid-July. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And don't forget, for a more in-depth analysis on this month and everything else that's going on, check the links in the pinned comment below. And I will see you all again soon. Hey there, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to the basic astrological rundown for June 2023. For a more in-depth analysis on what's going on in June, I'd like to direct you to my more in-depth analysis video. I have since moved it over to the Integrative Mysticism YouTube channel. That's my other channel. I think it'll have a good home there, and you can check that out by just following the link in the pinned comments at the top of the comment section down below. I'll also be including a link to the Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, as well as Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Pisces video, as those are happening this month as well. And so for a more in-depth understanding of those, as well as what that means for the vast majority of the rest of this year, you're going to want to check that out too. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what's going on when it comes to June? Well, June, we start off with a full moon in Sagittarius, your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, and raises. And full moons are all about culminations, transitions, and endings, right? High energy, forcing movement away from an old status quo. And in the 2 weeks following the 3rd, right, the 3rd through the 17th of the month, you're going to be feeling this push. There may actually be a graduation, a promotion, a lift, a raise, or maybe even an old story or an old status quo in your career, in your work life coming to an end. Now, a full moon in the 10th house is all in the interest of a level up, pushing forward, especially out of something that might have us going in circles or stuck in place, even if it was once a familiar pattern. However, even though this is a big break for you, you might still need to be ready to deal with people, right? Because not everyone can handle high energy like this with dignity and with grace. And that can also tell you who you can and can't work with, right? But over the course of this period, you are going to be getting that powerful lift, right? That graduation out of old, stuck, or stagnant territory, which could lead absolutely to a raise, promotion, transfer, or other huge shift in your 10th house of career, which will have a very strong ripple effect on the rest of your world. We have Mars and Venus together in Leo the vast majority of the month, making the first of two very important partnerships among planets or celestial bodies this month. Mars is in Leo as of the beginning of the month, and Venus is going to be joining him on the 5th. This is your 6th house of professional and business security, work, your reputation, your schedule, your teams, as well as the services you offer to the world and the people that you serve. And with Mars here, this is all about giving you competitive opportunities for growth, right? Mars is all about breaking glass ceilings, opening roads, making sure that obstacles are eliminated, getting rid of problems, but also raking in a lot of wealth through a lot of extra labor. So there may be a lot of overtime this month here. But Venus is making it all the sweeter because Venus, the planet of love, favors, popularity, affection, and gifts, is going to be showering you with all of those things. You may be finding that something that you care very deeply about as it relates to maybe your job profile, something you want to be known for, is getting a lot more value from your professional community or from the world at large. You may also find that you are getting a chance to accept some kind of important offer that is being put on the table as it relates to some kind of new path getting opened, right? With Venus, we kind of get to be the first pick. We get the VIP treatment. And you may also be finding that money is coming to you a lot easier during this period than in months past. And again, this is all month long. We've got Mercury in Taurus through the 11th of the month, which is basically focusing on catching up on matters that maybe fell behind or fell by the wayside during May's retrograde. But after the 11th, Mercury is in Gemini with the Sun, making the second of our special pairs this month. So this is your fourth house of home and family, your living situation, your roots, as well as home-based business operations and your home economy in general. And with Mercury and the Sun blending here, you're going to be noticing a lot of transformations and transitions going on throughout your whole living situation, home life, and home economy. The Sun is bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth, bringing you new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement. And we also see Mercury bringing in rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to faster, more successful fruitions. Long-term stories that have maybe been dragging themselves are going to be hurrying up for completion during this time, whether these are projects you've got going on at home, maybe these are things that you have been looking to do for your family or with your family. If you have a home-based business or you're looking to start one, this is a great time because you're basically getting a bit of a greased lightning feel from this combination, really getting a chance to hit the ground running. Home economy is going through a big boost, and you may even be finding that the home itself or an investment that is connected to your family or to your living situation is also going through a highly beneficial transformation. And this is added to even more by this new moon that's taking place on the 18th in this same area of your chart. So new moons are all about new beginnings, new long-term commitments, fresh starts, and a lot of you may be finding that a new moon in your fourth house is going to be giving you an opportunity to establish a whole new normal for your living situation, for your family, or whatever you've got going on there. This could be the addition of some kind of new stream of revenue to your home economy. This could be a big break in something that you've got going on as far as a family project or a family goal. In fact, with Mercury there could be something that we've been trying to complete for a very long time that gets rushed to a completion, and we get to really, enjoy the spoils of that. Or some of you who may be house hunting or looking to maybe even sell a property or make some kind of move in that way are also going to be able to find a lucky break during the window of the 18th of June and about week 1 of July. Finally, we also have this pair, Sun and Mercury, moving on together into the sign of Cancer. The Sun on the 21st of the month and Mercury on the 26th of the month. And they're going to be here through mid-July. This is in your fifth house of romance, love, creativity, recreation, monetizable talent, and your relationships with your kids. And with the Sun coming in here, this is all about bringing in a new kind of sweetness and new bonding activities into romance. This is about connecting at the inner child level. This is also about strengthening the friendship element of all of your important relationships here, right? Whether it's with a romantic partner, or maybe it's a love interest, or maybe it's one of your kids or a creative collaborator. because we do need that strong friendship element, right? For it to not only have everything else built on top of it, but also evolve. And this is going to be a time where all of that is coming in, right? More levity, more play, more adventure, sweet, and just a very uncomplicated energy here, which is nice. In fact, the sun is also going to be purging the causes and cores, or maintainers even, of a lot of unnecessary complications or shadows of the past as well. Mercury is going to be speeding up developments in all relationships here, as well as speeding up growth when it comes to being able to monetize a very important talent or skill, if that's what you want to do, and develop a stronger intellectual rapport between you and your kids, and you and your partner, or you and your partner-to-be, and it's just keeping a brand new communication channel open, completely changing the dynamic in a way that I think you're going to find quite sweet, quite enjoyable. And again, this is with you all the way up through mid-July. So that is what I've got for you all, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.